Welcome to the best Commander podcast in the world with your host, the Nitpicking Nerds. Today, we're talking about fancy cardboard.
In other words, Magic the Gathering collectible cards in premium edition.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
I'm your host, BZ, and that makes us the Nitpicking Nerds. Welcoming you to yet another video. This is kind of like worth it, but for premium cards. If you like what we're doing, you can talk to us and other friends, fans, and patrons on our Discord, and you can check us out on Patreon.
Yes, and this is our podcast episode, so you can find it on Spotify, you can find it on Google Play, and you can find it on iTunes. Yep, and this is the best podcast by far for juggling on a treadmill. Not even close.
Yeah, that's when you're supposed to listen to it. That's just one example.
Yeah, one of thousands that we'll have in the future.
Right. What are we actually doing, though, in this video right now?
Okay, we're going to be discussing foils, promos, extended art cards, misprints, masterpieces, showcase arts, any sort of fancy cardboard that is not a traditional card that you pull out of a booster pack.
Well, we're talking about quality and, like, what do we like them? What's our favorites? Should you get them? Are they stupid?
Yes.
Traps?
Yeah, we're gonna explain what if we like them, if they're cool, if they have problems or not, and then that's pretty much where we're gonna go. We'll start with foils. Just in case you don't know, a foil is basically just a shiny Magic card, but it has a special process when it's being made that makes it a little bit different.
Not all foils are the same or created equally, and some of them are complete garbage.
Yes, we'll start with pack foils. These are, if you open a booster pack, right, sometimes you'll just find a foil card within that booster pack. These vary in quality, like a ton.
It's set by set. There's usually not sets where some of the cards are bad foil and then the rest of them are fine. It's like, are these foils good from this set? I know, for example, like Shadowmoor, where the foils were like super dark and they weren't very good because you could barely even tell.
I mean, Commander Legends, as a brand new example, they curl bad. Real bad. We had a foil Rex Sage come out of a pack, sit on the table for an hour while we played our game, and it was bent.
It looked like a Pringle.
It was insane. Yeah, that's low quality. You got to avoid ones like that, and that's sad. Honestly, Wizards needs to do better in that aspect, because there's the idea of foils is these are cooler, better looking, like a notch above a regular card.
Yeah, and a regular card will never bend because that's not part of it's only the foiling process when it's exposed to like just air, right? Whatever the foil part of the foil part of the card will curl, and I think because there's less of it than the regular cardboard, it curls the cardboard with it.
And the saddest thing about it is that you can't use these cards at that point.
You can't sleeve them, and you're not going to play a deck without sleeves, and if you did, you can't play it because it's literally a Pringle in your Magic card deck.
Yeah, and this makes the card unplayable, and that stinks. You were wasting. Cards get wasted, even though they might look cooler. You can never use it because it's already curled beyond use.
I mean, how many stories do you think there are out there of some kid, right, who doesn't even know? They open like the coolest rare that they wanted the most foil. They're like, I can't wait to put this in a deck tomorrow. They go to school, come home, and their card's ruined.
Yeah.
What the heck? Why would anyone want to go through that?
Yeah, we should never have to have foils like that. On top of that, let's see. Old foil prices. Oh, my goodness. Things like 7th edition, which were printed only in white border originally, and the black border are the foils. Those are worth a ton right now. They've actually, there must have been a buyout because literally every crappy card right now is just like $1 million from 7th edition.
You got to love buyouts. That's one of the things that makes foils so hard to get. Every once in a while, some guy with $10,000 says, hey, this is free money, and I can't even fault them because what am I supposed to tell someone not to take free money? It just kind of sucks, and it's the way it is.
Yeah, Urza Saga also. Urza Saga Legacy and what's the one I'm missing? Destiny. All of those ones are actually like crazy priced right now too.
Yes. Some foil processes are different. Like the way they used to do it is different from how they do it now, I think.
Yes, 100%. Yes. Yeah, I mean, that's why on average the quality is much lower now. It's different, and it is clearly to save money, and that's what's sad about it.
Yeah, the foil multiplier on cards now is like way lower. It's crazy low, actually, because you'll look up, oh, how much is this card? Oh, it's only $5.25. It's a standard rare. How much is the foil? $6.
So one of the reasons for this is the introduction of showcase arts, the introduction of extended arts, anything along those lines.
Basically everything else we're about to talk about.
Yes, anything along those lines. What we have, people who want the fanciest piece of cardboard want the full art extended foil. The regular foil, well, there's not really a market for that, and therefore it's just like $1 more because who's interested in like slightly pimping in their deck? Only slightly.
It depends. If I can get it for 6 over instead of 5, I'm doing that.
Well, yeah, that's fair. That's more of a you're the very slight market, but you're only because it's $1 more. If it was $20 more,
that's you know what that is. That's the movie theater. Like we'll overprice the medium popcorn and then make the large popcorn 50 cents more. Oh my god, I have to get the large. It's only 50 cents more.
Something new we got actually just with Commander Legends, etched foils.
Oh yeah, etched foil. It's kind of a darker, less holographic, but then in the background is all, it's got the etched appearance. It's cool.
These are super cool. I haven't seen a quality problem with them at all, and I think they're stellar. I think they look very, very good, and it was nice to get a lot of old cards reprinted with this new thing, and all the new Legends also have it.
Do they bend at all?
As far as I know, there's not a quality problem.
Which is weird, because the foils from the set that are not etched have a problem.
Well, I mean, they're etched foils. It's a definitely.
Oh, it is a different foiling process. They
Yes.
they talked about that.
Yes,
So
it
it's
is.
a different process. Can we take the process and lose the etching?
I don't know how those processes work. I have zero clue. I know that there's literally a layer of basically foil. That's
Yeah,
all
because
I
you
know.
can peel a foil.
Yeah. Next, we have everybody's least favorite foils of all time from the Vault. This was his own foiling process, completely different, and they kind of just look kind of butsy.
Yep, you get the cards that come right out of the box. There's between 7 and 20 of them, and sometimes they just come out of the box pringled.
Yeah, they're awful. They were not. It was not a good foiling process. A lot of people didn't like them, and I think that's one of the main reasons they weren't so popular. A lot of them were cool, and some of them were good, but then it's like this awful process that just doesn't look good and bend super easily.
Some of them foils didn't even look good in terms of the actual sheen of it, where it's like, oh, I can't even tell that's a foil. I don't know why they couldn't just make these the normal foils. How hard was that? Why did it have to be a different process? And then the last 6 of them, they were like, man, people just don't like these, and they just keep making it bad.
Yeah,
There's no good from the Vault foils.
yeah, from the Vault foils, not good at all. Even though there is a $600 from the Vault card or so. Max Diamond.
Oh yeah, Mox Diamond.
Yeah, card's like $600.
Yeah, I would recommend staying away.
Yeah. Moving on, we've got some promos, and we're going to start with some lands. Well, for fancy lands, you've got all the full arts. You've got the unstable ones. You've got all the unsets, Zendikar lands. There's tons of foil lands. Bob Ross now. There's no shortage of fancy lands. But if you like really, really fancy lands, we've got the APAC lands, which are Asian Pacific arts of actual landscapes, and the European lands, which are also the same thing. They're actual real like landscape. Like the sunflower one, that's one of these.
Yeah, there's a Great Wall, isn't there?
Yes.
The Great Wall Plains.
Yeah. So there's ones of Asian Pacific locations and there's ones of European locations. These are really cool and they're really expensive now.
How much are they?
And without a cut at all, obviously, because I knew this off the top of my head, they vary. They can go from about like somewhere between like 10 to like 20, all the way up to like 100 or so.
For the APAC?
For the APAC / European lands. We're talking
Yeah,
about
the European island is like 116, and the APAC island, those are foil prices, is the 16.
Yeah, I think that the one with the Great Wall APAC is the most expensive one.
That's interesting. Not the island.
Yeah, not the island.
For once.
Yeah, for the first time ever. If you want to talk about expensive, fancy lands, we have Guru lands. Holy crap, we just looked up the price of the island for this. You're talking about spending $600 for an island.
Listings between $650 and $2,000.
That's insane.
Someone was selling a $2,000 one lightly played.
That's so crazy.
That's like alpha card prices.
Like, I already think about, so let's just say you're playing an EDH deck, okay?
Yeah.
And you want to put in the European island. $100, that's a lot. Well, you might need like 30 islands for your deck because you're a mono blue deck. All right, that's like that's 3,000 or is that 30? So it's $3,000 there.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's crazy. The Guru lands
$60,000.
$60,000.
I think we are actually, that's a good baseline because we wanted to do a video for a very long time.
Yeah, we haven't worked on that yet.
So that might help us.
The most expensive deck.
The most expensive commander deck, period.
Period. That you could build. Yes.
Yes, we definitely want to do that. And it might have Guru Islands.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough to beat that for basics. We'll see.
Well, there might be a mana base that you could build. $2,000 average, though. If we got to figure out what the average price is.
Yeah, that's fair. Moving on, we have event promos. You go to an event, you get a promo, basically. That's all these are. We have GP promos. These existed for GPs when they were a thing. They're no longer a thing. They actually replaced with Magic Fest promos. The GP promos, there's some cool ones. There's not really much to talk about there, but they're all right. Magic Fest, they're really cool. I like these a lot now. They're the full art Bolt and the Path. Those are the only two we've seen so far, but I think they're super cool.
Well, for GPs, it completely depended on the card. The first couple were great, and then there was like, here's Stoneforge Mystic, here's Gristlebrand, and then they're like, here's more Gristlebrand, here's more of that, here's Progenitus.
Okay.
And the cards were terrible.
Yeah, some of them are really bad, especially like that Progenitus. Then like nobody cared about that at all.
And they kept doing it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like I said, moving to the Magic Fest, now the renaming and the rebranding of it, love the new promos. They look super cool.
There's only 2, right?
There's only 2 so far, yeah. They haven't announced anything for this year because obviously we don't know if we're getting Magic Fest this year.
Yeah, it depends on how fast they spread the vaccine, and I'm already bored talking about that. So let's move on to the actual video. Pro Tour cards. What's that?
Pro Tour cards. These are cards given out at the Pro Tour. They only did it from 2007 to 2011. And the only standout is Mirari's Wake.
They're mostly bad.
They're mostly bad. Yeah, they're mostly not worth talking about at all, other than the Mirari's Wake, which is like $40 for that promo. It's pretty cool.
Whether or not these are good or bad, the Pro Tour cards, you don't want them.
You don't want them because they're mostly bad. You don't want to go for. You're not going to go find. You're not going to want to. You're not going to want to play any of these cards because they're not good.
Well, when I say good or bad, I mean the foiling process. It doesn't matter what they look like because you probably don't want them. If the card sucks, if every foil that ever existed was Wanderer's Twig, we wouldn't be making this video right now.
That's fair, yeah. Next, conventions. You go to a convention, you get a card. It's kind of like going to a GP, but these are specifically conventions. These are a bunch of bad commons. What
Really?
is this?
Like what?
Like, I can't even think of them. They were so unnoteworthy. I'm talking about like awful commons that you would never care about.
Like Corpse Hauler. That's the first one I thought of. Corpse Hauler is 1 and a black for a 2/1, and you can pay 2 and a black and sacrifice it and return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. I think it's from M15.
Yeah, they're absolutely awful. And they had on the cards, they had the Magic the Gathering website.
Oh.
On the card. Oh,
Ooh.
they were hideous. That was from 2009 to 2015. But they have newer ones, and they're pretty cool. They're basically like the extended art with like the text that's really see-through, where the art goes all the way down to the bottom, and you can see the text over like their legs, basically.
I have no idea what you mean, like full art text cards.
Full art, but they have the text in the bottom. But they're really cool, and the ones with mentioning Death Baron looks really cool. I like that one a lot. It's got its own art. And Nightpack Ambusher. Weirdly enough, I didn't even know these promos existed, but they're really cool.
Nightpack Ambusher was that saw a ton of standard play.
It did. Yeah, and Death Baron is a great EDH card.
Was that the Zombie Skeleton Lord?
Mm-hmm.
That card is good too.
Yeah.
What about Comic-Con promos? What do those look like?
Well, these aren't promos specifically, but you could buy them only at Comic-Con. And we know these. There's the Flipwalkers with the all black. That was the most unique one they did. They also did the walkers from Amonkhet with Egyptian style like hieroglyphs.
Well, originally they were all mostly black, like the first 3 or 4, and then they started shaking it up, arguably to lesser results. I loved the just almost 100% black canvas with like white outlines of the planes. I thought that was so cool. Who cares if you can't read the card? You know what the card does. When do you read your cards?
I think they should have changed the process slightly. There had to be some sort of little iteration or change you could have made to make it a little more readable.
See, maybe, but I'm also in the camp of like people out there who complained about the black lack of readability. You know who you are. All of you who own foreign Magic cards, you must publicly revoke your complaints. Yeah. It's the same thing.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing. I don't like either. I think cards should be mostly readable.
I want my cards to be readable.
Mostly.
But I think Like I have when I bought the SECC promo Flipwalkers, I'm like, this is so cool.
Yeah, they're cool. I mean, there's no doubt that they look very, very cool.
They are readable too, by the way. You just have to put them closer. They are not unreadable.
They're fairly unreadable without picking them up.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Take the extra second.
Yeah, some people don't even like you touching their cards.
Well, you can also have them read it to you.
Next, we got some tournament cards. These are things you got for like playing in a tournament. States/champs. These was weird. These are the full arts like Doran, Beautiful. You've seen the Electrolyze probably the most, Beezy. It's like the full art again with the like text.
Yeah.
At the bottom, and these ones are expensive.
The Beautiful, that's a lot of monies.
The Doran is a lot of money, and Doran seems playing nowhere.
Oh, the Doran didn't they? Is that the full art with the Lorwyn artwork?
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
Yeah,
that one is a lot of money.
Yeah,
I was thinking of the Judge promo.
Yeah, it's not the Judge promo. It is the art that goes all the way down, and you have the text still on there, but it's like a full art card. Electrolyze, Beautiful, all done the same way. The Electrolyze isn't crazy, but it's still not like a reasonable price for an Electrolyze and a card that sees no play anymore.
Are these all foil?
No, some of them are foil, some of them are not foil. Like I know the Electrolyze, I've seen those ones in person. Those aren't foil, but I'm pretty sure the Beautiful one is foil.
So random. Beautiful also like $600.
Yes, Beautiful's like 600. Doran's like what?
130.
That's insane for a card that has no homes.
There's exactly one home, and Doran the Siege Tower Commander, and nowhere else.
Yeah.
FNM promos. Is this like the seeded, not the released, not the pre-release? The Standard Showdown? Is that what we're talking about?
No, these are FNM promos. When you go to FNM and the cards you get, usually for our FNM personally, we would get them for going 4-0.
Oh, they change. Those are the ones that change like monthly.
Yes, they were the ones that changed monthly. They were pretty cool. There was a lot of cool ones you've had throughout the years. A lot of good uncommons here and there. But Fatal Push, one of the best ones we've seen.
Serum Visions was one of the good ones. There was Path to Exile. I think Lightning Helix was a really old one.
Yeah, they were all they're uncommons. They don't really go. They're commons and uncommons. They don't really go beyond that. But starting with Dominaria, they started doing the new frames for them, which
oh yeah, like Opt was the first one.
Yeah, Opt was the first one. Dovin's Veto looks sweet. Light Up the Stage is another good one. They did lots of cool promos. I think FNM promos are great, especially with that frame.
And this might be my least favorite one. Next is pre-release promos. Every single rare that you can open has a foil counterpart, but then you can also open any rare in the set as your pre-release rare, where it's in the plastic packaging, and it'll have the date and the year. So like June 23rd, 2019 will be on your card. I just think this is like, to me, strictly worse than regular foil. I would only use a pre-release foil if I don't have the foil, and sometimes if I don't have the regular too.
Okay, so the only thing about these, they were cooler back in the day. When they were a specific card,
yes,
I like that a lot more because it was the only card that would have a date, rather than any card from the set can have the date, which is lame.
Well, how about, it's also, the card matters. Remember when they gave away a Johnny Vengeant for free? Remember when you got an Emrakul the Aeon's Torn for going to the pre-release? Yeah, that was cool. Now you just get a rare.
Yeah, and those are lame. I hate the dates. I'm a huge hater of the dates. I think those are lame. Something I want to mention right now while we're here, because I just thought of it. The packs you get for winning events that they've started doing very recently.
Standard Showdown?
The Standard Showdown packs, or whatever they're called. The little packs.
I think that's what they're called.
There's a premium pack and there's non-foil, but they have those stamps on them. They're the Planeswalker stamp. I think those are cool.
That's a nice, like a medium point of it. I also want to add, that's not on here, there were game day promos, right? Game day for the top 8 would get a promo.
Yeah.
I remember, the only one I can remember is Cultivator of Blades. Supposedly they're all supposed to be cards that are good or will see play, except they weren't. Or Wizards has no idea what they're doing.
They have no idea what's going to see play whatsoever.
I think it's more likely that they just lied about the first thing. Somebody misspoke and said, these are relevant cards.
Next, instead of pre-release promos, release promos. So this is on release weekend, the weekend after pre-release. The cards are actually out. Everything's legal in the format at this point. There's tons of cool ones. There's tons.
When do they, wait, so how do you get one?
How do you get one? Oh, you had to play an event on release weekend.
Oh, okay.
Such as playing in a draft, playing in a standard event, anything that was on release weekend. Bolas Citadel, with the alternative art, that's one of the really cool ones. And the other one that I really like, Phyrexian Metamorph, was one of them.
Bolas Citadel, only cool that they did a promo of the card. I think the art is one of the most disappointing promos. Here it is from this angle.
Bolas Citadel, I thought it looked cool.
They just moved the camera.
Well, yeah, but
How about a different style or a different look for it? It's still just a box.
I mean, that's what the Citadel looks like.
Why don't we see the inside of the Citadel or a top-down view of the Citadel? I just named like 4 other different ways to show it.
According to the book, the Citadel has no inside because they never say anything about it. They're always on top of it.
No one goes in. It might as well just be Bolas's podium. Bolas's soapbox.
Yeah, Bolas's soapbox. I like that. Next, we have the IDW comics, which were these comics that have like Ashiok and Dak Faden in them. And within them, they put sweet alternative art cards like Faithless Looting, which they've now reprinted.
Yeah.
The Dak Faithless Looting, which they've now reprinted. And there's the High Tide with Dak on it. There's the Duress, which is a $25 Duress.
With Ashiok on it?
It's got Ashiok with her hand on Dak's head, I believe.
I can't even picture what that looks like. I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's very cool, but they are $25 for a common that is worth
cool.
a quarter.
Yeah, you can get the crappy elf needle art for free.
Yeah, you could pretty much ask anybody who plays Magic for a Duress and they will give you one.
Or there's the cool Sarkhan dragon art. That one's awesome. Where he's screaming at Tiny Zergo.
Shut up, Tiny Zergo. I'm sorry.
Oversized cards. These are commander cards, promotional items. I know they did promo like Gisela and Gristlebrand and Bruna and Avacyn for Innistrad.
Hellvolt. They were Hellvolt promos or something
Open
like that.
the Hellvolt into the Hellvolt, something like that.
Yeah, something along those lines. These are just big cards. That's all they are. They're lame.
Obviously not playable. I think they're super lame. The only one I think is cool that you get an oversized copy of the commander in every commander precon. It's like, all right, that's something.
I don't like them at all.
I just don't know what you're supposed to do with it.
It has no functional purpose. I honestly don't like any of the oversized cards. I think they're more of a novelty than anything. They're cool because they look different.
Well, here's one purpose though. Oversized cards, what I've seen people do with them is cut them and then sleeve the artwork in a Magic sleeve. It's kind of like a cool way you can kind of get an altered version of your commander for free.
Yeah.
Like you can snip it in half, take the art, sleeve it, turn it sideways, and now you just have a cool, like a Nekusar. I think our friend did that.
Yeah. I'm still not. I don't like that. I think that's just kind of whatever.
Well, that's an arts and crafts. If you feel like getting artsy, that's like a cheap way to tap out your commander.
Like that's why it reminds me that Magic cardboard isn't the best for art, because if I would getting card arts like that would be cool, but it's well, at that point I want to just the art. Get rid of that card. Give me a giant art of it. That look cool.
They did the arts for Modern Horizons.
Yeah, they did. They've done them for another set too. I can't think which one though.
Which reminds me, I have an Urza that I have proxied forever, and we have the art card for it, so I need to sleeve it so it looks less gross.
Oh, I didn't know you had the art card for Urza.
Remember we got them all.
Oh,
we just have them somewhere in a box.
I mean, I would have probably. Those are cards. I don't throw out many cards. I would throw those out.
What? Crazy. Box toppers.
I mean, yeah, so there's two things here. Let's talk box toppers and buy a box promos. There's a difference here. A box topper comes within the box. A sealed box will always have a box topper. These can be anything. They did these for expeditions with the newest Zendikar set. We've seen them with the Ultimate Masters, with the extended art foils.
Well, the selection of box toppers is usually limited to a subset of premium cards, and then the buy box promo is always one either crappy fun card or stupid standard card that defines the format.
But also something different about the buy box promos worth mentioning is that you're not guaranteed to get one. Your store, when you go to a store and you buy a box, usually they only have them for the first week, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, and then after that they're gone and nobody has buy a box promos anymore because, well, they gave them all away.
Yeah, that's what happened to Nexus of Fate. They said buy a box promos are never going to be playable, and then they made Nexus of Fate, and then they made Kenrith, and Kenrith was in every deck. Yeah, so dumb.
Yeah, it was very dumb. Something interesting about Kenrith worth mentioning. He was a buy a box promo box topper, but within the premium packs of Eldraine, you can get a non-foil Kenrith, which was worth more than the box topper Kenrith.
Couldn't you get him in showdown packs? I feel like I saw somebody open one. Maybe I'm hallucinating.
Yeah, you can. I think you could also. You might be able. You probably were able to get him in showdown packs too.
Because Kenrith was not as expensive as Nexus of Fate.
No, Nexus of Fate is worth money right now.
Yeah, it's still worth what? At least 15.
Yeah, that card's sweet.
The last one, Duels of the Planeswalkers, or is this a category?
These are Duels of the Planeswalker cards. They did a lot of promos for Duels of the Planeswalker, where basically if you had the game, you could. I don't know if you're supposed to print it out or what you're supposed to do, but you were supposed to do something. Bring it to your LGS, and they would give you that promo. There was a Scavenging Ooze promo.
There was Xbox. I'm thinking of there's the Xbox Garrick and the Progenitus that I can picture.
Yeah, there's Xbox Garrick, there's Progenitus, there was a Nissa, there was a ton of them.
I had the Nissa.
There was a Liliana. There was a ton of them. Some of them were alternative art.
Yeah. Garrick definitely was.
I think the Scavenging Ooze, which was worth money at the time because it was now Scavenging Ooze has been printed a million times, and there's like a bunch of art. 4
promos.
Yeah, but there was like only one alternative art for it, and it was the Duels of the Planeswalker one.
Wow, that in case you don't know, Duels of the Planeswalkers does not come out anymore, so there won't be any more of these. If you need the card, I'd recommend Duels of the Planeswalkers. They were fine.
Yeah,
I don't remember any issues with those. Like, I don't know, they didn't come curled or anything. They were just normal cards.
Yeah, I don't remember too much about them.
Extended art. This is one of the classics now.
This is brand new. Basically, every single set has these where the art goes, instead of ending at the borders, it extends over the borders.
Yeah, and then it kind of makes a box. It kind of like bisects the card a little bit. I think it looks weird.
They look fine. I don't really have any problems with them at all. I'm not actively pursuing them. It's one of those things where it's like, if I was trading with a friend, they had a card I want, and it happened to be extended art, sure, I would trade for it.
Yeah, I mean, I have a deck that I'm trying to foil out maximally, so I'm going to need the extended art opposition agent, but I could care less about the regular one. I need the foil one. Yeah. So what am I supposed to do with the regular one if I came across it?
Yeah, exactly. So that's worth mentioning here is the extended full art foils. This is what's making regular foils not worth a lot, because people are going for maximum pimpage.
Yeah, like, I need foil Sorceress Spyglass. Well, there's extended art foils, so don't throw out your other ones that you had. You got to spend more money now, even if you already had the oldest Sorceress Spyglass that didn't have extended arts.
Yes. Another thing they're doing a lot recently, showcases. This depends on set is how they do it. Within Eldraine, we had the storybook looking cards.
They're very stylized.
Yes, extremely stylized. The storybook cards like Bone Crusher, I think all the adventures.
Every adventure had one of these. Zendikar has anything with landfall, has its own... Like comic art, almost?
Yeah, comic-y art.
Super high contrast.
Yeah.
Ikoria actually had, like, comic book art.
Yes.
It was literally, like, straight out of a comic book.
It was supposed to be like comic books. These are all really cool, honestly. I have had zero problem with the showcases. I love, for each set, that we're getting its own feel for the set. Like,
Kaldheim has, like, Viking metal feel.
Yeah, exactly. And I have not been disappointed with any of these. I love showcase art. I think they're great.
Can you think of a bad one?
No, I think they started with when did showcase started with Eldraine, correct?
Oh yeah, I think so. So there's been no bad ones since then.
There just hasn't been any bad ones. They've just all been good, which is really cool. They did. I guess they also had even M21, which was a core set. They looked good. The showcase cards.
Oh yeah, they did look good. They had some old ones, like some old style. For Teferi, right? Those ones.
Well, Teferi had like a million different looks. There was the new blue Ugin was a showcase.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm thinking of what was it? You know how they had like Teferi's protege? They had the old border.
Oh, they had a strange.
What was that?
That wasn't an old border. It was a strange border.
It was like a new version of the old border.
Is that what it was?
I think so.
Yeah, it was a strange. They had like a cool border. They had that for the like lands too. I remember now.
Yeah,
they looked cool. They looked cool. I mean, I had no problem with any of that. Again, showcase. I mean, I would pick up whenever you want to showcase. Whenever you want a cool card, if it showcases it much more, get it.
All right, these are my actual favorite foils, the masterpieces, and they are not created equal. Every set, they picked some cards that related to the set, like the pimpiest lands for Zendikar, the coolest artifacts for Kaladesh, the Bolas cards for Amonkhet, and they made them crazy stylized, like like borderline doesn't look like a Magic card styles, but they're like the pimpiest, coolest, blingiest thing you could do. And my favorites were definitely the Kaladesh artifacts. They look great. They're like golden and swirly, and there's a bunch of filigree. The Zendikar,
They're also orange. Your favorite color is orange.
they're so gold they turned orange. There's the Zendikar original expeditions. I loved all of those. But then Amonkhet. What about the...
I mean, Amonkhet's aren't bad. The thing is, the art's very small, which is sad.
Too small. Should be the main focus.
Exactly. And the hieroglyph style was hard to read and really just... And that's the main issue, is that it's incredibly hard to read and it doesn't look great.
Oh, so you say the black planeswalkers are unreadable, but then when we get to the card that people literally could not read, you're like, they're hard to read.
They're hard to read. I don't...
Hazoret the Pervert.
Hazoret the Pervert, Days the Unreadable.
Yeah, oh God. Because it wasn't just Days. It was Days was in the center of the top, and then there was little squiggles. You're like, when does Days start? It's only 4 letters.
Yeah, exactly. It's impossible to find Days on there. It looks poo-poo.
I think those are worse than the black for reading.
I think they're just as bad. I mean, I don't think it's not there's not really...
You have to squint to see but it's English text there.
It doesn't really matter too much. It's just kind of silly. It doesn't look great. Some of them are really cool though, and some of them are really great art. It's sad that they're so meh for being red.
Yeah, if my deck had a bunch of these, I would actually be annoyed. I think my deck, the promo has 1 Aven Mind Sense, and I'm like, okay, that's enough. Just the one.
I would like the Scarab guy, but I know that's like
infinite.
It's a lot of monies.
Oh, and the recent ones. Why did we went back to Zendikar and we brought back the expeditions, and it's the same cards. That made me actually mad.
Oh yeah, so if we're gonna return to Zendikar, let's print some different ones. Like, why? Like, these are box toppers. Why not do like Scrylands? Who cares? It's like
different lands, not the same ones.
Yeah, exactly. We got fetches again. Fetches again is fine. I'll take fetches as many times as we can get. But like, some of the other ones were the same too. There was Celestial Colonnade again. Why are we getting Manlands again?
Ugh, it was so annoying. They nailed it with the first ones, and then people got sick of expeditions because they kept shoving it down their throats. And then they bring it back and they do the same lands. And then if it's not fetch lands, it's like a dud. It's like Blackleaf Cliffs.
I don't actually mind that because at least it's new.
Nah, it makes me mad. What if somebody likes these new fetch lands better and they went to the trouble of getting the old expeditions? Like, that is so frustrating.
And lastly, we have misprints. These are cards that either have wrong colorings in a lot of cases. They're miscut. It depends. These are fine. Oh.
Some of them are more valuable than others. Misprints are aren't they just more common now?
Yeah, there's a lot of misprints now, and they're not really worth a ton. But a lot of old misprints are worth a lot of money. It just depends on what you like here. If you enjoy a card that looks really silly, sure, get them.
Yeah, they might be, honestly, if you like misprints, it might be but if you like misprints and you don't want them because they're premium, this might be the good time to pick up like random cards. Like, oh, you can get, I'm trying to think of that card, Eldest Reborn, but it's cut wrong, so it looks goofy. Well, yeah, you can probably get it for a couple bucks.
Yeah, I don't really care too much about misprints. Oh, I guess the last thing here for premium cards is altars.
Not Wizards sanctioned.
Yes, not Wizards sanctioned altars. Hiring an artist or getting one that's already been done by an artist, anything along those lines, they're really cool. Especially if you get a good artist, a very talented artist to like extend the art or change the art. They can look really good. Make
sure you plan on never selling or trading the card. Mm-hmm. Altars do not increase the value. It's weird. They only increase it for you, and then once you have the card, it might as well be damaged.
Yes.
That's so weird. I am fine with every form of altar except one.
What's that?
Stupid, half, 75%, or fully naked people. I do not want to see that. Get it out of my face.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be on a Magic card. I have literally zero problems with nudity. I have zero problems with sexualization in the right context.
Okay, yeah.
In the right context. But this is a card game. If you're going to be taking those cards and playing with random people, absolutely not. Especially because those random people could be any age. They can
13 and up.
13 and up that's the age that is recommended to play. Lots of younger people play. So I've seen as young as 5 and 6 year olds playing this game.
Yeah, tons. We know actual children who play this game, and not that children's minds are so fragile. It's you don't have permission to just show them stupid anime boobs on your island.
Yeah,
where it's I don't think there's any place
I absolutely hate those as well. I think they're awful. Also, while we're ranting and raving about over sexualization, there is a very specific playmat that I hate. It is Liliana like crawling on a half naked Chandra. I've seen this. I've gone to an LGS in my area, and the art of this was hanging on the wall. In a play area where anyone can go. Why? Why is this hanging on your wall? It looks awful. I'm going to put it on the screen. It's tough to explain exactly what it is. And on top of that, it's a playmat. Again, if you're playing with this in your house, no problem. Who cares? It's yours. You can use what you want in your house. If you're going to your LGS and you're using this, why? Stop it. Nobody wants to see Chandra getting all frisky with Liliana.
I don't need your deviant art, like over sexualization of just characters who aren't, like they're not real, and I don't get the point of it. And I don't want to see it. And
you are 100% allowed to enjoy whatever you enjoy. If you enjoy that, fine. Get the art, put it on your wall at your house.
Make a wallpaper out of it. It just doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, I don't care what you do within your house, but don't bring that playmat to your LGS. It's so over-sexualized, and there are children at the LGS. Why do I have to tell you not to bring that to your LGS? Oh, I just don't get it. Why do I have to tell people that?
It's just rude.
It is rude. Like, I don't know. It's just weird. It's like if you like, I don't watch if people are walking around wearing a shirt of like a naked woman. It's like, well, that's not appropriate.
Are you serious?
And it's like, yeah, exactly. Don't put it on your Magic cards.
Yeah, this might as well have been we've just put a misprint video in our, or not a misprint, an alter video in our premium cards thing, but whatever. If you stuck around, we'll just call that a tidbit.
Yeah. Well, special shout outs to all of our patrons. We love you all as much as we can without making you uncomfortable. You guys are awesome, and you are the lifeblood of this channel.
Yes, you have a TCG player link. We have a TCG player link just for you in the description. Guess where it's going to take you? TCG player homepage. Don't go to your browser and type in TCG player. Just click the link. Brings you to the exact same spot. Now just go as normal. Buy what you want. Click on whatever you want. As soon as you check out, TCG player will recognize, hey, they use the Nitpicking Nerds affiliate link, and then we get a kickback on the order. Very simple.
Yep. No matter what you're going to buy, if you're going to be buying stuff in TCG player, please use the link. Please support the channel. Show them that you're coming from our channel.
It's just click link, buy cards. Those are the only steps for you.
Yep. Yep. That's the only steps. What else?
We already did a tidbit. We just screamed at people about nudity. I'm sure we're gonna get hate for that too.
Yeah, I don't know. Should we get hate if people are gonna hate on us for telling you not to? Basically, we're saying don't bring over-sexualized things into public spaces. That sounds like the most reasonable thing I've ever said.
It really when we steel man it like that, it is so reasonable.
That's what it's literally what we're saying. We're saying if you have something that is sexual, super sexual, don't bring it into a public area. Very reasonable.
Yeah, it's like having a Magic card where the art is "I hate you." Don't put that on a Magic card.
Exactly. Yeah, we're peacing out. Peace out. Peace out, Tribe Scout. Peace out. Peace out. Peace out.